Okay, so welcome back. Today I'm going to do a trial run of how I think I want to do my makeup for my wedding, which is in a week. So I've been testing a few things out here and there, but I want to actually get everything down, and this video is definitely going to be helpful for me so that I can make sure I change what I want to change or remember what products I used for what. So I just did my regular skincare routine before this, so Tatcha Dewy Skin Cream and Cetaphil Moisturizer with SPF in it. And then I'm going to use the Vitamin Enriched Face Base from Bobbi Brown, which is really great. It is very hydrating. So I'm really only going to use it in my driest areas, which for me is around my bottom of my nose, chin area, definitely my forehead. So I'm gonna let that soak in. I'll eventually go in with the e.l.f. dupe for the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. I also have the Milk one. This is like a dupe for it. I feel like this might be a little bit stickier, so I'm gonna give it a go to make sure my makeup lasts longer. But I think I'm going to start with my eyes first because I want to do kind of a smoky eye. And I have a couple of areas where I can start. I just don't know how warm or cool I want to go. But I'm going to put some of the NARS. Also, there's a mirror over here, so I'm just using that to make sure I'm doing stuff correctly. But I'm going to use the NARS primer, the smudge proof eyeshadow base. I've used this a lot. I do actually think it makes a difference. I've also tried the Pat McGrath one, which I actually don't think makes a difference, but maybe I should give it a few more tries. We'll see. So I usually just pat this in with my finger. We're gonna do some major concealing too, but I'll do that afterwards. And then when I get ready on my actual wedding day, I'm going to use eye patches and do like the whole facial massage, all that, just to really depuff the face and get myself looking how I want. So I'm between a couple of options to start with. I really want to use more of a cream base, so to try to have more longevity. And then use powders over top. So I have the Laura Mercier Cocoa, let's see, Chanel in 04, and then Hot Stone for nude sticks, which, let's just swatch them all and see how they look, because I feel like they all probably have slightly different undertones, but they're all like a medium brown, I would say. So these are all the swatches: Laura Mercier, nude sticks, Chanel. I feel like I'm going to start with the Chanel, and then if I need to add more depth, I'm going to go in with the Laura Mercier. So we're just going to start, make sure the primer's down. And I'm going to be pretty messy because I can clean up the edges later since I'm doing my base later. I'm just going to do a good amount here. I know I want it to wing out a bit. And I'm starting with the Chanel. I think I said that, but use the Katie Jane Hughes number 18. I'm just going to smudge it a little bit and bring it up and out. And my eyes, I feel like, are kind of hooded, like that things get hidden. I just have like a lot of extra skin here, so I personally like to take it and dot right where my eye creases so that I know where I need to blend a little bit more. And usually this blends a lot easier. The primer underneath makes it stick a little bit more, but I'm fine with that. I'm going to use a fluffier brush just to do a little more blending on the edges. This is KJH Spectrum Collab number 17. I feel like I'm going to end up with like a smoky eye, a little bit of a halo eye. We shall see. I am going to go back in and use some of the Laura Mercier just to add a little bit more warmth. And it's a bit of like a deeper color. And I'm going to actually take it on the blending brush this time and just use it that way. Which I feel like was probably better. Maybe I should have done that with the Chanel one. But see, it just adds like a little bit of a warmer tone, I think. And I feel like that looks pretty good. It's not like too dark. I think I'm a summer. I don't know. And I know summers are like cool tones, so that's why I want more of a cool tone eye look. But like also I'm gonna have fake tan on and like glow. So that's I feel like requires more like warmth. So I'm going somewhere in the middle, but I would say it leans more cool. But yeah, I think I like this as like a starting out base. And we can add more depth if we need to. So I'm going to go in. I have a couple palettes. So I have the Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes here. I also have the I Need a Nude, which I watched a million makeup tutorials for weddings, and like they all use this. And then I also just got the I Need a Warm palette from Natasha Denona, which I'm very excited about. So I think I might use like a combo of these. You obviously don't need to use all of them. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna go in with a fluffier brush. Let's do, okay, this is KJH number 10. I am gonna start with Mellow, and I'm gonna use it on like the very edge of where I had blended, just to like soften it a bit. And then I also want to go in with, this is, let's see, number 19. I think I'm going to go in with a little bit of soft spot here and kind of go over what I did earlier, really focusing on the bottom lash line, outer corner area, and then going back and forth with the Mellow shade and maybe a little bit of Ripe, just to continuously blend and make sure the eyes look soft. Okay, so I then am going to go in, and I'm like 95% sure I'm going to use this on my wedding day, but this is the Danessa Myricks Color FX Metallics, and I've used this a million times. It's waterproof. It's a cream pigment, multi-use all over the face, but I like to use this as my like eye glitter for the center of my lid. So it's like a really, it's this here, and I'm going to take this brush. This is the Vive Precision Eyeshadow Brush. I thought I saw something in the corner. And I'm going to just tap it in here and really place it on the center. I will use more glitters over top to create more dimension. And I think just like putting this, I already can tell like I need a little bit more now in my crease from the browns. But it's hard to tell when you're just initially starting out, which is why I like to start with the eyes too. You can be messier and really play with it. So I'm going to go back in with my bigger brush, go into, I'm going to mix Soft Spot and Fervor. I don't know how you say that. So, sorry if I messed that up. Oh, wow, that is warm. Okay. I need a nude palette instead. So we're going to do a little bit of Stone and Mesh and try to tone that down. Just a wee bit. Not too shabby. And go back in with our eye pigment. That looks pretty good. And then just with the smaller brush, I am going to pick up a little bit of Tender from the I Need a Nude, just to do a little bit of deepening here in the corner. Let's see, I'm going to swatch Delilah, Sheen, and Mia just to see like which one I want to put where potentially. Mia, Delilah, Sheen. These are from the I Need a Nude palette. I'm going to use a little bit of Delilah on the outer corner. And then I'm going to go in with Sheen everywhere else. That looks pretty good. Okay, I am going to do like an inner corner and brow bone and highlight, but I'm going to do that at the end. So we're going to jump to, I'm going to do the other eye, and then we're going to jump to the rest of the base. Okay, so I quickly did my other eye, and now I'm going to do the base. So I'm going to, like I said, we already used the Bobbi Brown Vitamin E face. I'm going to use the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer, something like that. This is a dupe for Milk. I think I already said that, but just so you know, I'm putting that everywhere because I want this makeup to last. Okay, and then I'm actually going to mix two foundations. I'm going to mix Haus Labs. This is the shade Light, I think. No, Fair Neutral, which is 040. I just love the feel of this, and I think it looks kind of like your own skin. It's like a serum-y type feeling, in my opinion. And then I'm going to mix it with a little bit of the NARS Natural Radiant Longwear, not concealer, foundation, just to add more coverage. I think this has much more coverage than the Haus Labs does alone. On the actual day of the wedding, I'm going to use a darker shade because I'll have a fake tan on. I like to put it on my little mixing tray. Just did 2 pumps of that. I'm going to do a pump of the NARS. 2 pumps of the NARS, why not? And we're going to mix it together, and then we will blend. My goal is definitely to cover up my redness and even out my skin tone, so we shall see how this will work. I'm going to start with using a brush, so I'm actually going to start with the Hourglass foundation brush. This is like their angled one. I know they have like another one, I think that's flat, but I'm going to use this to start and just kind of use patting motions all over. And then I will go in with a beauty blender after. And more foundation, likely. I'm going to try to do layers. I feel like that's what I seem to see is the most, like is the best way to get coverage without looking cakey. So that's what I'm going to do. Gosh, this is ghostly. Crazy. Use the beauty blender a little. Oh, I didn't say this earlier, but I put on the Tatcha lip mask, which I think is amazing. I put that on did all my other skincare to start. I would say this is one pretty light layer. I'm going to go in with a little bit more just directly from the beauty blender, especially in my cheek area. Really the center of my face, I would say, with a little bit of emphasis on the cheeks. Okay. I am going to use some concealer. I'm going to do the Fenty Concealer, the Hydrating Longwear Concealer 150N. I am going to do a little bit under my eyes. I want to also go in with the Kevyn Aucoin concealers because those things are high coverage. I have 2. I think I'm going to use SX02. See how that goes. I'm going to use Hourglass concealer brush just to put that on the eyes area. It has a little bit like, is it yellow or peachy? I can't really tell. But but I feel like it covers the dark circles pretty darn well. It covers everything well. You just gotta figure out what shade you are. I feel like that's the hardest part of makeup, is getting like coloring correct and all the different lightings and whatnot. Okay. I'm gonna go in Milk Makeup Contour in Stoked. Contour the face, contour bronze, bronzer. A little bit on the nose. I will obviously use a brush when I do this for the wedding, but I just want to quickly do all this makeup so I can see the basis of what I want to do. I think I brought that too low, personally. Like, I wouldn't bring it that low. Bring it on the ears as well. It's just crazy. I'm literally getting married in a week. I definitely should have done this little trial sooner. I tried to do it once when I was going to, I did it when I was trying on dresses. So, I did 2 days of dress try-ons, and so on one of the days I did a look, and then on another day I did a look. Actually, the day that I found my dress is the look I really loved, and I thought to myself, oh, I should really record this so that I remember what I did, and I never did it, and my makeup looked so good. I know I used the Danessa Myricks eye pigment, but I have no idea what like actual other products I used. I may have used another pigment, but I truly cannot remember. And so that's why I have to do another one of these and why I'm recording it. And I just thought it'd be fun to get back into makeup, and I always wanted to do YouTube, but I just like couldn't commit and, you know, cared what people thought and all that. But I feel like it actually does bring me joy to do makeup and things like that, so why not just do it and throw it on YouTube, because it's fun to make the videos and edit them and all that good stuff. And I need another hobby besides tennis. I think I'm going to do eyebrows just so I can see like what we're working with. I am going to take just another Q-tip and kind of gently take out the foundation and concealer that did get in them. Just ever so slightly. It makes the product last longer. I would use Anastasia Brow Freeze, but it's like night now, so I'm literally just going to wash this off, so I'm not going to put my brows fully in place. I use Brow Wiz in the shade Taupe. Okay, those are very roughly filled in, and I would typically use the Brow Freeze, which will give them a more feathery look usually and hold them in place and whatnot, but for the purposes of tonight, this is what we're going with. It's also hard to tell because I feel like you have to put on a little bit more makeup, especially in the photography that they use for weddings. Like, and we're gonna have multiple shooters, so there's gonna be like one main girl, and then she's bringing an assistant and apparently also a student, so there's gonna be 3 photographers, and like I just want to make sure I want to look good in person, but also like on the photos, because obviously people are gonna remember the day and whatnot, but those memories start to fade, and so like the photos are what you have, and I want to look good in the photos for sure. So even if I look like a tiny bit cakey, which hopefully I won't, I'm gonna focus on that. I'm gonna go in with Tom Ford shade and Illuminate as a little bit of bronzer. Katie Jane Hughes 04 Spectrum collab, just like an angled tapered brush, and I use this definitely more as a bronzer. It's like warmer to me. Pat not drag. I think that's what everybody says. And get it on my ears, neck, down the neck usually. Okay, blush. I am struggling with choices on that. So I do have the Cheeky Flush Balm from Merit, which I really love these. They're blushes. And then I have 2 Patrick Ta blushes. I have She's That Girl. His packaging is not intuitive to me. Like, I want to pull the top part, not from this like bottom flippy thing here that goes over it. So wait, this is like this more pink one. She's that girl. And then I also have Oh, She's Different. Again. Okay. So you can see we have like hot pink, I would say. And then we have more of like a berry mauve. And I feel like I don't know what to do because it's like end of September. So it's still summer-like out, but like technically September's fall. So I think I'm gonna use this, and then if I want to add like a little bit more of a pop, I'm gonna put in the more pink one. That's my plan. So I like to use the cream first. I know he in his videos always does powder then cream, or most of the time does that, but I'm gonna do cream first. And I, like years ago, Rihanna's makeup artist did a video. I forget who it was. She like collabed with somebody on YouTube, and she like would bring everything up here, and then she'd do like highlighter here in a C almost. And ever since I watched that video years ago, that's what I've done, and I just love it. It's very blown out. Like I don't think it's for everybody. It's just my personal preference. And I'm definitely not afraid to blush because, as we know, it's the first to go. Yeah, see, maybe we do need a little bit. Let's put a little bit of the other one on too, because the eyes are a little bit cooler. So let's like, I feel like this is a cooler pink. Kind of mix them. Okay, and then I'm going to use angled blush brush. I love the KJH brushes, if you can't tell. KJH, a couple of the Hourglass blushes, and then I've just started using the V blushes, which I like. I love the Fenty highlight brush, and I actually love their eyeshadow brushes. I'm going to make sure that those are clean for day of. I'll use the other ones for the rehearsal dinner. My rehearsal dinner look, it'd be very like silver glittery. I have a really fun dress. I'm gonna like have my hair blown out and have like these little braids with like, I think I'm gonna bead like these little pearl strings through it, or have the girl who's doing my makeup do that. So that should be fun. I'm gonna just do a quick spray with the e.l.f. Hydro Grip. I'm sorry, Power Grip, not Hydro Grip. And then for powder, I am going to do like heavy powder probably day of, and I'm going to bring the Bare Minerals foundation, pressed foundation with me for touch-ups. But I am going to use this Hourglass powder with the puff, especially under the eyes. Almost like, I would say it's like a mini bake. And then I'm going to go in with my bronzer, which is my favorite bronzer. Used to love the heart-shaped one from Too Faced, but got discontinued. That was my favorite bronzer, but now I've moved to Hourglass. This is Luminous Bronze Light. I'm going to take the fluffy brush from the KJ. Oh, just kidding. This is Vive. No, I'm not going to use that. I am going to use KJH. And pat this everywhere. The E and 3 motions. Okay, I am now going to do more on the eyes, so I'm going to go back into the I Need a Nude palette, and I'm going to bring some of the color down underneath of my eyes as well. So I'm going to use a little bit of Stone and Mesh and just bring that underneath, just to give it some depth. Nothing crazy. Okay, I think I like that. And then I am going to wipe this crud off my lips. I'm going to use the Shiseido micro liner to do my upper waterline, and then I'm going to use the Makeup Forever. This is the Artist Color Pencil in 1E01, or I'm sorry, it's in 500 Boundless Bisque. I'm going to use this on the bottom lash line. I like to kind of like warm it up a little bit on my hand. Just to like keep it a little bit bright. I'm tragic at this. Like it's not a skill I possess. I'm gonna try to like hold my eyelid. I like always poke myself in the eye at least once. And then I'm going to use an angled eyeshadow brush and some of the shade Silhouette to just do a little bit on the actual eyelid, like very subtle. I don't really do eyeliner, so. Okay, cool. So we're gonna do lip color now. I'm gonna use one of the Kaja lip stains. So I don't know what color this is, but they don't have very many. I have this color and this color, which is a little bit deeper. I think I'm just gonna use this. And if I need a little bit more color on the actual day, I'll add a little bit of this in. And I'm gonna put this on first, and then we're gonna finish the eyes, like curl the lashes. Mascara, I also have to do highlighter still, so just kind of like let that do its thing. I'm going to quickly curl my lashes. And then we're going to do some highlight. I want to try, I just used this once, Natasha Denona and 01 Light Skincare Infused Glow Beautifier. I'm just going to use it with Beauty Blender and try. God. Okay, that is literally blinding. Okay, I might not use this on the actual day. This is very impressive though. I'll probably use the Merit highlighting stick on the actual day because this is beautiful, but I don't know. I'm nervous that I'll be way too. I go too heavy on highlight as it is, so I don't want to like look crazy. I am going to use a little bit of this in my inner corner though. And if I use the Merit highlighting sticks, I would go over it with probably the Rare Beauty highlighter, and I would use this. It's just so blinding. I'm like, I don't know. This is what I mean. I have a problem. I think I'm still putting more on. Anyway, probably too much for the flashback, but that's okay. And then I'm going to, on the actual day, I'm using L'Oreal Lash Paradise Waterproof because that does not come off at all. I wore it in the ocean, in the pool, everything when I was on my bachelorette trip as a tester. Does not move. So I'll use that on the actual wedding day. I'm going to use the NARS Climax mascara for now since I'm going to be taking this off shortly anyway. I think products also are going to look so much smoother because I am getting a facial next week right before, like the Wednesday before I get married. And I'm going to get dermaplaning. So my skin's always like super smooth after that. I am going to use the Whirl lip liner from MAC and a little bit of a gloss. Fenty glosses. I have two here, and this is going to totally depend on how warm my eye look actually ends up. So I have Champ Stamp Fantasy, and then also Sweet Mouth. These are like my two favorites. I think I'm going to use Sweet Mouth for now. Just kind of in the center, really. Last time I did this makeup, it looks so different because I had a fake tan on. It was the middle of summer. Just everything was very bronzy. And then to end it, I will use the Patrick Star One Size On Till Dawn. This makes everything last like so well. And I'll use a little bit. I'll use the Dewy Skin Mist or the Power Grip. I need to get that right. The Power Grip first. Let it sit for a sec, marinate. One size. I don't know. I mean, I think this is pretty good. I'm going to have my hair curled the day of, and I have a very pretty cathedral length veil. So I'll have lots of volume, but I think this is a good test for now. Anyway, let me know if you have any suggestions or advice for the big day, definitely for makeup purposes, but also just in general. I'm looking forward to it a lot, and yeah, hopefully I'm sure I'll post this video as long as it turns out good, and then ideally want to post my look for the rehearsal dinner and get some good stuff while we're on our honeymoon too. But yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll keep you posted on what I end up doing. Bye!